Okay, I'm down at the shop today, and we'll fix a little boo-boo that happened. You really can't see here. You maybe you'll see a little paint chip there. But we've been an arm on the last trip, maybe to Windrock, maybe before then. You really can't tell it. Anyway, we're going to install a set of high clearance arms. I got some in today from Super ATV, and we're going to get them swapped out. So stay tuned. So I've got the tire off, got everything exposed. Jack stands weren't quite tall enough. That's as tall as the one as I've got. But once I get the tires off, I'm going to set it back down on the jack stands. That way it's supported. You can kind of see this is a little indented there. We'll get a little closer look at it when we get it off. See some of the stuff's cracking. Anyway, this is fairly straightforward. Basically, the only complex thing is probably drilling out all those rivets with the brake line. Everything else we just need to disconnect. We need to take the knuckle off and disconnect radius arms, etc. But I'm going to take care of that, and we're going to get to getting this off so we can put the new one on. Okay, so we got everything taken off. No big deal, really. Drilled out the rivets. Got the hub off. Big issue, the bearing separated on me. So the race is stuck on the hub, and the rest of the bearings in here. So I'll have to replace that. It is what it is. You can kind of see more now, that little deflection there. It's dinged that up pretty good. Really all I like at this point is taking off that front bolt and be able to get this out of here. But anyway, just wanted to go over this. This is a risky taking those off. That's seized on there, I don't know why. But I'll have to replace that. I have to replace that bearing and try to get that race off of that hub. Okay, so we got it off. You can kind of see there what I was talking about. Pretty big bend. We're going to slide the new one on now. All right, so it's day 2. We got the second one in without much problem. You can kind of see here, I did get the, I'm not going to walk around there and get it, but you can kind of see a little bit of corrosion. That's probably why this hung on there. This is the other side. It came right off. I think I've got like 1,400 miles, 1,500 miles, something like that, and that bearing's pretty much shot. It's pretty wiggly on the outside. You can kind of see it moving there. It doesn't spin freely. It's got a little tough spot in one area there. So I'm going to swap this one out too. Pretty much I got the race off of here. The way I got it off is I basically put some PB Blast, let it soak overnight, and basically it had pulled up just a little bit. I took a pry bar, pried against this. Don't pry against your rotor, and just kind of wiggle it up a little bit. Make sure you clean this off really well. If you have a little bit of room, I knocked mine back down, clean this off a little bit, and then just slowly pried it off and got this good and cleaned up. When I put it back together, I'm gonna put something on it to keep it from corroding, but I am gonna have to replace both rear bearings. All in all, these fit up really well. Really, the only strange things is you got to use different bolts. For these two, all this back here, you use the hardware. Again, we drilled out the rivets. The brake line routing, what I'll recommend to you is you can either start up here at the front, start here at the back. If your brake lines are like mine, the easiest way to do it, the way I did the other side, which went a lot faster, is this right here. You can see this, it's got a little bit extra rubber coating here, and it stops right there. I pushed the stock clip all the way up to that rubber stop and attached it here. And then I actually did the front, went back, worked my way back this way, work your way back this way. The big thing is make sure you get your brake line routed below this bolt. That way you're not dragging against that bolt. And just double check everything. But that pretty much finishes up the actual trailing arm install. You can see that little bend there. It gives you a lot more clearance. Pretty much sitting. This is going to be pretty much level with the bottom all the way up into the tire. I'm guessing the tire is probably going to come here and the bend's back here. So should give me a lot more clearance. These are a lot beefier than the stock units. Even if these do hit something, I don't think they're going to wad up. This trailing arm side had no damage. It was only the other side over there. But all in all, real happy with this. The other thing I'll mention, the stock plastic guard, which is normally turned around this way on the stock, does not work. For right now, I just pulled my plastic stock off, or the stock plastic piece off, and spun this around. I'm going to take a look and see if this is going to interfere with anything. I'm either going to cut these tabs off or explore putting this back in the spring compressor and see if I can pull this out without adversely affecting how this spring mounts up. I just don't remember how it went together, but just one thing to note, I noticed in the pictures they flipped this around and actually cut the plastic off. I really don't want the plastic there if it's facing in the wrong direction, because it's just going to capture dirt and, you know, let dirt fall against this shaft, so it just makes it worse. So flip this around, we'll see how that works. Other than that, went really good. I did use a little bit different method here. So basically on the hub, in order to try to prevent from getting that race stuck on the hub, I basically put my castle nut back on, and with that hammer there, kind of beat this drive shaft back in and out of the hub before I took it off, and that seemed to help a lot with releasing pressure and not getting that in a bind, and I was able to pull the hub off of the out of the bearing without pulling the race and everything out. Anyway, I don't know that the next video you see will probably be this all together, but I'll probably end this video now. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.